Happy Friday, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Okay, so yeah, this is going to be interesting. Okay, don't do that, computer. No. Okay, stop.
Starting off strong.
Yeah, it is starting off strong. It wanted to scroll, kept scrolling, and I'm like, I got a new mouse like last week, and it has issues. So
Oh
I'm gonna
no.
have to. I think I'm gonna have to download firmware again and figure out why it's doing what it's doing. It's whatever. It's like, yeah,
Life.
yeah, it's life. That's how it works. How you doing tonight, Kayla?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me on. Very excited to be here. I very much enjoy these toy therapy sessions, and unfortunately a lot of the times they coincide to
Yeah,
when we
exactly. I was
go
like, you guys are
live.
usually running on Friday, so
Yeah, we're doing one thing or the other on Fridays. It feels like but yeah, I try to watch as many of the replays as possible, but they're always it's so nice because I'm a very psychoanalytical person, and then combining that with this community and
yeah.
something I enjoy doing, it's great. And also just love your intro. It's so nice. It's
Thank
like
you.
part relaxing and then it gets like real exciting.
Yeah. Well, you know what? When I found it in my iTunes, I was like, I guess I could use this one. That's really nice. I kind of like it. I did like 12
There you go.
different. I did 12 different intros, and I'm just like, ah. By the time I got done with it, I was like, okay, I'm
Sounds
done.
about right.
I don't want to do anymore.
You aren't you a Capricorn or a Virgo?
Cancer.
Cancer. Are you must be like a Virgo rising or something, I'm sure.
Yeah. No, I'm June 27th. So
That only tells me so much. Need to do the whole birth chart.
yeah. So you know what I do then? So first things
Mhm.
first, you you do know what a Venn diagram is, correct? I'm assuming that.
Yes. Yes,
Okay,
yes.
so we're gonna talk Myers-Briggs, Geek Nerd Dork. So for those that are joining us for the first time and those who are checking out us on replay, we're going to discuss these. So in order to qualify as a dork, one must have an IQ, high IQ, or relatively, intellectually functioning and socially awkward. A dork, a
Mhm.
whale penis. I'm not. I still, yeah, no, still not understanding the whole correlation there, but okay, we'll
Yeah.
roll.
Yeah.
So, in order to be a stalker, one must have an obsession and be socially awkward. I can see that. Now, a lot
Mhm.
of the toy hunters, we could qualify them as stalkers.
Mhm.
Let's put that right out there. That's legitimate.
I mean, there's literally Toy Stalker, the account, so
I
yeah.
know. There's a toy company called Toy Stalker. I know.
Yeah. Yep.
That's even worse. They're admitting to it and selling you.
Very
Okay.
self-aware.
Yeah, exactly. And then now, your show is called Geek the F Out, but
Yes, it is.
are we going to qualify you as a geek here? We'll find out in a second. High IQ and obsessions. That qualifies as geek. Now,
Mhm.
if you have a high IQ and you're socially awkward and you're the dork, if you want to move into nerd category, all you have to do is find an obsession.
Mhm.
Seems simple enough,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
You just, I qualified as dork until I became toy obsessed. Now I qualify as nerd. Prior to that, it was
Yes.
probably just pop culture crap that apparently my
Yeah.
random brain, trivia brain, was great for it. So, in order to go from geek to nerd, you have to become socially awkward.
Mhm.
I don't know if you can do that. It's possible. It is possible.
I'm
I'm sure
very
you could
socially
just like
awkward.
start making people uncomfortable with what you say and just, I don't know.
I
Say
love
what
making people uncomfortable, it's my favorite.
say,
People are just so stuck in their little
bubble.
normie ways,
Yeah.
little
Yeah.
bubble, little normie ways, and I'm just like, "Screw this.
Yes.
Let's get out of these bubbles, let's, poke and prod a little bit," and, I mean, I've never been one to fit the mold anyways, so, yeah, normal's boring.
So if we're a stalker, in order to move to nerd, apparently we have to improve our IQ. So I would assume that means the stalker must start learning. So
Mhm. Mhm.
so now given the definitions of geek, nerd, dorks, stalkers, obsessed, IQ, socially awkward, All right, Kayla, where do you think you fit?
Um, oh my gosh, I, like, was waiting for this question and have been thinking about it so much because, yeah, I mean, I've always loved to learn, and I did very well in school. I had to work very hard at it to do very well. Like, I was valedictorian in 8th grade, and I had, like, a 4.2 GPA in high school. Don't talk about college, though, we don't talk about college. Just had to pass. Um, I would like to think I do. I've never done, like, an IQ test, but I've
Exposure
always
therapy in colleges. That's what we call that. Exposure therapy.
yeah. I've always loved learning. I don't really know what qualifies as, like, a high IQ though, so I would say I've called myself
Well,
both a
here's the
geek
funny
and a nerd
when I
because yeah,
was
I definitely have obsessions.
because when I was in my undergraduate, um, a high IQ was 120 and above.
Okay.
Um, Now our median has moved to where it's right at 100 for average IQ. It used to be
Mhm,
120, was at that borderline cusp, and now it's not.
mhm. Hmm.
So I
So
don't
we're
know what's
getting
going on with
dumber.
that. You said it, I didn't. But
I mean, considering our attention spans have gone down so much and TikTok is such a big thing,
well, we've kind of done it to ourselves. Let's be
we
honest.
have. We totally have.
Yeah, it's
Guilty as
that
charged.
immediacy effect where we really want it now, and we don't want to
Instant
wait. We don't want to be patient.
gratification. Yep.
You know, like this week, I have something that I had to wait a year and some odd months for, sitting right over here. And guess what? It's still
Yes.
sitting there until tomorrow when I open it,
Yes.
and it's
It's
it,
very
it's taunting
exciting.
me because I opened the box just to make sure everything was okay, at
Mhm.
least
Gotta do that.
cursory. I did not take the cellophane off of what's in the box, so it's still intact for tomorrow night. So
Look at that will control.
I kind of have to.
Yeah, yeah, that'll
So
be fun.
let's check
Excited.
in with the chat real quick before we dig into the nuances of Kayla. Eldor has joined us. Thanks for joining us, Eldor. Turning the Lips, Sir Clifton, how are you, sir? Good to see you. Ray Black, hello, ma'am.
Ooh.
Poppy Accident, what's up, Ben? There's your cohort in crime.
Yes. Hi, Johnny.
What's up, Johnny? Johnny, at some point we're gonna have to talk about you coming on.
Mhm.
That's gonna
You can
be
get
interesting.
psychoanalyzed. Hee hee hee
There
hee
you go.
hee.
There's Nolan. Everybody's chat where Nolan is at.
That means it's
Thanoscopter.
real.
Yeah, exactly. You're not really on anything until you actually had Nolan in your chat. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
That's like a YouTube rule now.
It
I'm just
is.
gonna stick with it.
It is.
Thanoscopter, what's up? A punk with toys.
Ugh, Lawrence.
Yeah, Lawrence. Lawrence. Hi, Larry. All right, that's everybody. Nobody has any. I'm sure they'll be coming up with biting questions momentarily because I'm sure there will be plenty of innuendo that we'll be able to.
Yes. I
To,
forgot
to
to ask you, how innuendo can I be?
um, not hard R, but like soft R. We're good.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
not like I'm planning on getting monetized at any points, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
it would take
totally.
a long, long time.
Uh, yeah,
Yeah, because I'm
totally.
apparently it is what it is. So one of the things that I do is I discuss the play state. Now, for a refresher for
Mhm,
people who haven't watched before, or for people checking it out for the first time, a play state is a state of mind when you're absorbed in an activity that gives you enjoyment. Very simple thing right there,
mhm,
and provides you with a loss of sense of time. So you're in the flow. You are
mhm,
in the zone. You are not focused on anything other than what you're doing.
mhm, which is
So,
not
given
easy
that
when you have
definition,
ADHD.
yeah, exactly. Squirrel,
Squirrel.
squirrel. Yes, I unfortunately squirrels kill me. Yeah,
Especially with the
uh,
dogs.
Yeah, exactly. No. The cat, we have a outdoor cat next door, and it killed a
Oh.
squirrel and then left the head and the tail on its porch
Oh,
for its owner.
yeah.
I
Oh
don't think
boy.
it was giving it to him to like share with them. I think it
Yeah.
was telling them something. Apparently,
You're
Lawrence
next.
believes he is the black sheep of the black sheep. All right, we'll go with that. So, whatever works for Lauren. When was the last
Yes.
time, given that definition, that you played?
Mhm. Um, oh gosh. Also, for what we just said, and then thinking of that definition, I'm like, well, that could be something else, but like
It could
actually
be.
played.
Again, that can involve play. I don't I don't
But
disagree.
no, uh, last night, I've been completely redoing all my shelves. I've accumulated a lot of stuff over the last almost like 8 months now, and I'm almost never home. And I was home this week, and you're like, "I want pictures of your stuff," and I'm like, "You got it." So, like, for several hours every night this week, I've been doing that, and I was up until 2 last night doing it.
Well,
Because
you did not sleep.
our stream went until, like, 10, and then I, like, had to do some other stuff too, and then, like, it's also helping me, like, get rid of some stuff because I just yeah, I'm never home long enough to be able to do that, so, yeah, being able to I love organizing, and that's kind of play for me, but, like,
Mhm.
organizing the toys and figuring out where to place them and how to organize them, yeah, so I did it last night, and it was great. It was a great time, and yeah, all of a sudden I blinked and it was 2 o'clock.
It can be that way, right? I mean,
Mhm.
it's interesting when tomorrow when I open this his tank and I put it up, I have the dio built, at
Mm,
least most of the bones, but I'm hoping I don't have to cut anything down.
okay.
So that's why
Fingers
it's not in the
crossed.
that's why it's not in the shelf and set up and getting just, where I just put the tank right in. Not doing that yet. Tomorrow night I'll dry fit and go from there, but yeah, so I get it because there's times when I'll go through and like recently I spent almost an entire weekend redoing the shelves, reorganizing the stuff, just because I wanted something different to look at, and I had a new shelf,
Mhm.
so I had 5 more shelves that I could play with. So
Same. I literally got a new shelf because it was not gonna fit on all of these, and I used to have a mini fridge in that corner, and I'm like, "Well, I need to do something with that space." And I
so
needed it, clearly.
when you were a kid
Mhm.
and you were playing, how did you play? Was there rules? Was it unstructured? Was it I'm going to, this is Barbie, this is, you know,
First of all, I hated
strawberry
Barbies as
shortcake?
a kid.
I'm
Hated
just
Barbies as a
saying, whatever
kid.
whatever it was, Bratz dolls,
Let's
I don't know. My
no,
daughter had
I
Barbies,
was
so
a huge tomboy as a kid, and even though it doesn't look like it with how much I love makeup, I am still very much a tomboy. I was thinking about this. I played outside a lot of the time, and the only, like, toys I had were these really big, like, Lego blocks. It definitely wasn't by Lego, it was by someone else, like, big blocks, and then I had, a little kitchen, like a little plastic kitchen, and then a crash cart, like a medical crash cart, which, yes,
apparently you were
I
planning
was
for someone to have
obsessed.
a heart attack, right?
Yeah, I wanted to be a doctor for most of my life until I got to college, and I'm like, I can't do this." Yeah, so I had a crash cart as a kid that I loved to play with, and, like, I like to play in the kitchen, but not, like, making food or, like, playing housewife or whatever, like, I just like
Yeah.
to, like, mess around. Um, and with the crash cart, I would definitely be like, "Okay, let me, like, check your signs and whatnot," to my parents, because I was the only child, so they had to deal with me. Um, And I also, like, grew up going to a lot of my, yes. I don't know if it's my favorite. Um
I don't know, the way you're describing it, it does sound kind of like it's your favorite. I gotta side with Johnny on that assessment.
I mean, I think just because I haven't heard anyone else have it, so it
No, I
also
don't think
sticks
too
out.
many kids just have a random crash cart hanging around. "Hey,
Yeah.
here's this toy. Let's give you this thing that's for heart attacks."
Yeah, I mean, it was, like, maybe, like, 2 feet tall, like, it was, like, just like any of the other, like, miniature
Yeah.
things, yeah, and it had the stethoscope, the needle, the bedpan, the everything. Oh god, but I mean, I grew up in hospitals, doctors' offices, nursing homes, acute care facilities, all these places, being an only
Mhm.
child, having older parents with old parents.
Yeah.
I was dragged along to a lot of these things, and it was just normal. My grandpa was a doctor, so it was just normal for me, and yeah, it was fun. I also had the chevron cars that I would play with the big blocks, like make
Mhm.
buildings and
Mhm.
roads and everything. We collected. That's probably the, like, only thing I really collected as a kid in terms of toys was the chevron cars, and now I wish I still have those because I saw them at the toy show and that I went to recently, and I
Mhm.
was like, "I wanna get these again," just for that nostalgia factor. They weren't going for that much. I think some of them do, but,
Yeah.
yeah, I loved playing doctor. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, so but most of the time, I really did play outside. Like, I loved making, like, there was this one tree that I would kind of, like, I had, like, a little, like, mailbox that would, like, hang down off of a rope,
Mhm.
and I would, like, a mailbox. It was literally, like, sticks that I made in, like, a cylinder shape that, yeah, and I would, like, make things and make, like, mud pies and stuff like that. Yeah, most of the time I was outside. I was fortunate enough to have a pretty big yard growing up, and we had, like, a creek and everything, so, yeah, it was nice, and then I think when I was maybe 7 or 8, my dad and I built a playhouse, and so spent a lot of time in there too. That was a lot of fun. Um, and he made a little, like, deck for it too. That was cool.
Nice.
So yeah,
So,
lots of that stuff.
do you remember how that made you feel when you were a kid and you were playing?
Kind of, like, I mean, definitely happy.
Yeah.
Like, definitely, like, carefree. Um, it was a good distraction, from a lot of things, which I don't think I realized it at the time, but it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely happy for sure. Yeah, and carefree for sure as well, because 'cause I'm like, "Oh god, I wish I could go back to that." Had
Well, I mean, I
no
think we all
worries.
do, kind of. I think
Yeah.
it's one of those things about collecting toys in and of itself. It's some of us trying to recapture that
Mhm.
innocence that we had in childhood, that moment of safety, that moment of joy. It's that brief
Yeah.
period in our lives where we didn't have all of the world weighing down on us. We didn't have responsibilities. We didn't have, well, I mean,
Yep.
we did. We probably had chores, but it's not the same thing. Let's be
Yeah,
honest.
it's
Not
not the same
remotely the
thing.
same thing. So
Yeah, it's
some of the
definitely it's funny because, like, I really didn't play too much with toys, and I think part of it was, A, like, I loved playing outside, and B, knowing now what I know, like, probably couldn't afford too many.
Mhm.
Like, I had, like, an easy bake oven, I remember at one point, and then I got what I called the grill grater. It was actually called the glitterator, but, I was, like, 6 or 7 and trying to tell my parents what I wanted for Christmas, and I was like, "Grill
Mhm.
grater," and they're like, "The fuck does she want?" And they finally realized it. I think I saw a commercial on TV, and I was like, "Grill grater," and they're like, "Glitterator," and I'm like, "Yeah."
Must be like a bedazzler.
Yeah, it must have been. If I ever find that again, I am buying it though, 'cause, that sticks out in my mind, but I think now that I collect, it's kind of a way to make up for not doing that as a child.
Not getting that experience.
Yeah, yeah. Because
And
whenever
it
anyone
can be
talks about it, I'm like, "That sounds awesome." I didn't have that experience.
well, and sometimes that interesting thing is that we sometimes try to fill those gaps that we didn't get. Some people
Mhm,
fill them with toys that they didn't get as a kid. Some people fill them with those toys that they asked for but never got.
mhm,
It's interesting to see how we kind of dynamically change. So, in
mhm.
thinking about those feelings as a kid, when was the last time that you had those feelings as an adult?
Probably going to, like, Comic Cons and stuff. Also, LOL Thanos. Jesus Christ.
Only Thanos would think about, let's give me enough
Yeah.
brain damage to give me disabilities, but mild enough to enjoy my toys like I did as a kid. Well, technically, you could do that, but I don't think you'd like it. Ooh, shrinky dinks.
Ooh, Shrinky Dinks. I always wanted to do those. My parents wouldn't let me do them. Just like I
It,
always wanted Lunchables. Wouldn't get me
it's probably,
Lunchables.
well, you didn't miss anything with the Lunchables. I'm just telling you.
Yeah, but all the cool kids had Lunchables.
See, color forms. I love color forms. They were the little sticker, the restickable. Um, they had like they were like a cardboard with it was like then you could have these like stickers that would come off and on, and
Uh-huh.
you could move them all over the place.
Hmm.
You should look
Oh,
it
I
up.
just thought
They're
of
really cool.
okay, that reminded me, the bear that you could the bear you could, like, draw on and then throw in the wash and then draw
Yeah,
on it again, that was cool. I liked
the
that.
washable one. Yeah,
The washable one,
yeah.
yeah.
My daughter got one of
That was
those.
fun. Which I think I saw something like that recently. I'm like, "Oh, they're bringing it back. The trends are coming back."
Yeah. Oh, just
Doodle
wait
Bear,
around.
yeah.
Like with anything else,
I
just
mean,
wait around.
Furbies
It'll
are
come back.
back. I almost got a Furby. It was
Yeah,
on sale, and I was
Furbies.
like,
Those things are nightmares.
they
I'm
were
sorry, they're
nightmares,
just
but I
nightmares.
still want one.
See, extra thick window
Thick.
clings is the way that he describes them, but they had like a cardboard scene. They were interesting.
Also,
They were fun toys.
Johnny, I'm clearly rubbing off on you because you spelled thick with 2 C's.
Yep,
Yep.
he did. Apparently not. So when you were a kid, you kind of had that outdoorsy. You played with them in more imaginative play.
Mhm.
Um, are you still doing that today, or does your play involve more structure, organization? Is there any time that you actually just play with your toys?
I haven't really had too much time yet. I have on like Oz's streams, if I'm able to open stuff, I'll play around with them and like change out the accessories. Shiny plastic people.
Oh, of course, Chris. Chris
Yes.
is adding to it.
Oh,
Oh, you
Chris.
play all right with your
Yeah,
toys.
you're just lucky you're not seeing I didn't
Do
send a
you
picture
have
of
other ready
that
toys?
wall.
I figured. I figured.
I have one wall that cannot be shown. Um,
Well, it
yeah,
could be
yeah,
shown, but there would
just
just be there would be no monetization.
yeah. I mean, I technically kind of showed them on Oz's stream. Um, but yeah, I think I mean, I'm constantly dog sitting, so I'm almost never home for very long, so I just don't have a lot of time, and my job is very physically draining, so most of the time when I'm home, I just want to be a potato. So,
Be a potato.
yeah. Like, yeah, that's why I mean, I love Oz's streams and, being able to do that and, yeah, even when I'm, like, not home and I have toys to open with me and playing with them, that's, one of the few chances I get, but I think now that I've finally put everything away and organized it and whatnot, I think I definitely will more because, like, literally before this week half of my floor was toys or bags of toys. Like I had a whole bag of turtles. Like it
So you
was
have more space to put stuff in for the next time, because that's how it
kind
works for
of.
me. Because I open a few toys and I go and
Mhm.
I put them in the shelves, and
Mhm.
then something else comes in, or I'll buy something else, and I've got a box over here, and I've got that big box over
Mhm.
there, and then I've got my
Mhm.
Animal Warriors of the Kingdom over there. I've got my Headless Horseman right there. I've still got 2 or 3 GI Joes that I haven't opened from like a month ago, that are
Yeah.
just sitting on
Yeah.
my dog's crate, because I
Yeah.
don't have another place for it right now until I
Yeah,
decide,
I think I had,
put
like,
'em out.
3 months of stuff that, like, I hadn't opened up, like, especially, like, on Oz's, and I, like, bring these giant bags. It's because yeah, I'm never home to open them or, like yeah, I just yeah, not able to.
So you said the glitter glam, or whatever it was one of those things you
Glitterator.
want to get. Glitterator would be one of those ones you want to get again. Um,
Mhm.
are there any other toys from your childhood that you wanted, that you never got, that you would want to have?
That I wanted that I never got. I don't know. Probably because my parents are very strict, clearly. Um, I mean, I had to do a whole PowerPoint presentation in 7th or 8th grade when I got my first iPod video because, like, at that point, people had cell phones and I didn't even have an iPod. Tragedy. Um,
It was the end of the world.
it was the end of the world. Yeah, I literally had to do a PowerPoint presentation and print out, like, 100 pages of info. Um, but I ended up getting it, so that was good. That was my one Christmas present slash birthday present because my birthday's 2 weeks after Christmas, so they get combined.
So you
Um,
had to have a well-reasoned argument to get it, is what you're saying.
yes, yes.
Okay.
I'm trying to think if there was anything else that really yeah, nothing that I can think of right now.
So in your toys that you're buying now, are you preferring the established franchises, or are you branching out into, some uh independent toys?
Um, anything that looks cool. Yes, isn't it cool? Speaking
Glitterator.
of cool things.
It reminds me of, like, if you remember at the end of the Fairly Odd Parents, they had that whatever it was.
I didn't watch it.
It
Another
was
thing
it
is
was
I
the
didn't get
name of the
cable.
production company, and they said it at the end of it. I can't remember what it is, but it sounds. I just want to, honestly, when I see that word, I want to say it in that voice.
That's funny.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm not sure what
Stick
that
to
is,
the
but okay.
rivers and streams that you're used to.
Yeah, I'm not sure what
Don't
that is,
know.
but
No, I don't either.
we'll go
Um,
with that one.
yeah, I mean, just anything that looks cool. Yeah, I mean, I'm still very new to all of this and yeah, at this point, like still learning a lot. Yeah, indie toys versus mainstream. Um, yeah, like if it looks cool, I'm in, which I'm actually going in. I don't think Brick's here right now, but a couple of the ones that were just released, he's getting the like mega package and he's like, if you want those, you can have them. And I'm like, great. Of the mythic.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, that bear looks awesome, but there's a couple others that I wanted, and I was, like, messaging him, and he's like, "Well, I don't really want them if you want them, and shipping's kinda crazy." I'm like, "Okay." Like, they
yeah.
look awesome.
That's how we work as a community.
Mhm,
Sometimes, you don't want something, but the all-in price is better in most instances. Plus, you get extra bonuses. But when
mhm,
I was looking at it, I'm just like, the mythic, I want maybe 3, maybe 4 out of that. The bear
mhm.
I would want if I had space, but I don't have space because that thing's massive. I mean, if it's the size of the
Yeah,
troll,
how big is it again?
you've seen the trolls that Brick pulls out every once in a while. His Mythic Legion trolls. They're like
I don't think
like
I have
15 or 16
actually.
inches tall. They're not small.
Oh. Oh, damn.
Yeah, they're not
Bigger
tiny.
than mommy
They're standing up
motherboard.
on 2 paws
Wow.
is gonna be that big.
Yeah, no, I can't.
Yeah.
Like, I like, the only thing I've left and I happen to have space for is Lord of the Rings because I wanna get more Lord of the Rings. I have space for more Stranger Things, space for Jurassic Park. I have a little bit more space for Star Wars because I definitely wanna get more Star Wars things and, maybe a few Disney things, but
Yeah, they were the Mandalorian, Mando from Tatooine credit collection. I found that at, Ross for $3.99. I
ooh,
almost bought
nice.
it. I almost
Oh,
bought it, and I was
it's
gonna
basically
repaint it
free
to his
99 at that cheap.
yeah, at $3.99, it might be worth it to buy it at that point and paint it.
Yeah. Um, Quip just asked if I'm getting the Diamond Select Samwise. The thing with Diamond Select is, like, they're great for their price, but, like, I don't know, some of the faces are just off, which I have a
Yeah.
lot of the,
Diamond does
Toy
better with
Biz.
if it's, like, comic related. For whatever
Mhm.
reason, when they do, like, live action, it just there's something their sculptors just kinda miss it, and they look
Yeah.
like there's a little uncanny valley there quite a bit.
Yeah, the Boromir and Aragorn are so close. It's the nose is just, like, a little bit off to me, and I just can't get past it, and I have a lot of the Toy Biz ones, and they're actually, like, pretty good. Some of the feet are wonky on my hobbits, unfortunately, which I should probably just, like, heat up and fix them.
Yeah.
But, especially now that I, like, had to heat up and do this damn seahorse. If you
Oh,
know, you
you
know,
had to heat it up to get it in there? Yeah.
on
Had to
Oz's
had
stream.
to provide some lube there, mhm.
Yes. If, anyone was there that witnessed it, it was quite a ordeal for me.
It was an ordeal for quite a while.
Yes, it was.
So
Um, but yeah, they're pretty good, so I don't know if I'll order. I don't know.
does
Maybe eventually. Paint the clown makeup.
does the community in and of itself, because you've been in a, you know, community before. Does the community itself kind of influence you in what you pick out, or is it just
A little bit, yeah. For sure, especially in all of, Nas. Full body thrusting, yeah. I literally had to put my entire body weight on it to get it in there. Um, I would say a little bit, especially, yeah, in the Discords when people are, like, posting things and or just posting that they got things, and I'm like, "Whoa, that actually looks pretty cool," like, seeing the actual, like, in-hand
yeah?
images, and then, people find these very, like, obscure or, like, indie toy lines, and, like, I have, I forget which shelf I put it on. I think I put him down here. Let's see if I can grab him without knocking over everything. It is a rainbow glittery ghost, with a, you know, thing.
Oh, that's
And I
hilarious.
think someone had posted, like, the company was making something else, or I don't know, posted this in general, and I was like, "Oh, I have to have this." Um, yeah, just, like, fun, silly stuff like that. So, yeah, definitely influenced and also, like, very grateful because people have been able to, like, find me things or, like, offer, like, for things that I like, when I was looking for the glow in the dark Donnie forever,
Mhm.
people are like, "I found it." I'm like, "No, no, 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 no. I gotta find it myself. Thank you."
I
But
was one
there's
of
been
those
other
people who's
things.
like, if I
Yes.
find it, I'll look for it.
Yeah. But yeah, there's been some other people that have found things like the mutants, that I recently got, like the Mondo Gecko and
Mhm.
Genghis Frog. Um, yeah, it's been great having that, so I'm not in it alone and yeah, unfortunately also influenced by a lot.
I think it comes naturally with the group of people that we kind of surround ourselves with, as we're all kind of and like Chris said, we're all kind of each other's enablers in some way. Now he
Mhm.
tends to be like the person that stands out because he's the only one doing McFarlane exclusively for the most part. He does do Mafex a little bit and maybe an occasional Mezco or Beast Kingdom, but it's still within the
Mhm.
DC universe.
Yep.
So
Yep.
he's the only one that stays strong. The rest of us just kind of meander into everybody
I mean, he
else's.
has a pretty good Star Wars collection, though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, honestly, you could stop collecting Star Wars at any point and still have a whole Star Wars collection. That's the problem.
Yeah, I realize I accidentally got 2 Ahsokas, but they're 2 different Ahsokas, so it's fine. And one came with the Grogu. Oops, and it fell. Oh well.
That's yeah. Well, I picked up. They had a Incinerator Trooper, the vintage collection with the Grogu. The Grogu lasted
Mhm.
approximately 5 minutes in the house before the dog decided to nibble on him.
Oh no.
So he died an ignominious death pretty quickly. But I got it for the blast effect, so it didn't bother me. I hadn't really bought a Star
And
Wars toy in
yeah.
20 years
Wow.
for
Long
me. Now,
time.
my son, I bought him a Jango Fett and a couple other figures, but for the most part, no. I sold him all of my Star Wars stuff for the most part. He got to pick from what he wanted, and of course, he took the
Mhm.
Rancor and Luke playset, and then he also took the Tusken Raider and Bantha from
Ooh,
Power of the Force.
good choices.
So, yeah, he knew what he was wanting. He knew what he wanted.
Yeah, he did.
So, if you were the only one collecting something,
Mhm.
say some line that you were collecting that you found, if you were the only one collecting it, would you still collect it?
Oh yeah, totally.
So the influence only goes so far, right? That's what you think?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I've always been a bit of an outsider with things, and I'm like, that's great if people are doing it, but like I don't have to do it. Like I've never been one to shy away from doing something on my own. I think partially being an only child and just very independent human. Um, yeah, I think like people that are very like codependent or just like won't do things on their own, I'm just like, what? Why?
Yeah.
like,
I
I'm like, especially
you
if
know,
it's something I like. Like, why not?
it's it's funny if we find something that we like and we keep doing it. We should be doing it because we enjoy it, not because
Mhm.
everyone else is doing it. That's that jumping off a cliff because everybody else is kind of thing.
Mhm.
I think it's interesting that there's some people that would, but I'm always going to go my own way. But I'm also going to
Yeah.
gravitate toward people that are good people first,
Yep. Yep.
beyond the toys and everything else. So that's one of those things that this community that we're involved in kind of has brought together is we get a lot of good people
Yes.
that just happen to
Indeed.
like toys.
Yeah.
So,
It's funny because I've always liked Comic Cons and, other things like that for that reason. I mean, that's why I love, like, concerts and going to the movies, like, you're there under a common interest, common like,
mhm,
common love, etcetera, especially with Comic Cons, it's like, "Oh, we're all geeks and nerds here, like, this is great." We probably had a lot of similar stories, like, growing up and childhood, especially when being a geek and or nerd was not so cool. Um, I feel like we can commiserate about a lot of things together,
mhm.
and, yeah, it's just I find it very I I wonder like, I'm sure you could probably go into the psychology of it. Like, I'm sure maybe there have been studies that have been done, but I'm very curious if there's something in particular about collecting toys. It's like, "Oh, you've been through a lot of trauma, now you collect toys."
Well, I could say after doing this is what 32 episode 32, yeah.
Mhm.
I can say after 32 that does seem to be a throughput. There
Yeah.
seems to be something
Like, you've
there.
been through shit.
Yeah, and I like I said, I think it's a lot of us are trying to reconnect to that more innocent time
Mhm.
and trying to maybe even heal that person
Yeah.
inside of us. So that inner child.
Yeah, definitely.
So what lines are you collecting now? You've got kind of you kind of got a hodgepodge,
Yeah,
but
I do. I'm not deep enough yet to collect lines, I think. And I don't know if I ever will. We'll see. Like if it's Lord of the Rings, then yeah, except for Diamond Select. Sorry. Um um yeah, exactly. Quip. Glow in the dark, get the t and translucent.
mhm,
Yeah, I love those things. I love things that look, slightly different. This was actually the first thing. Oh, and those are gonna fall. Not too bad. Um, this is from the Plastic Geek. It is the
mhm,
Spirit Dirt Farmer. It's hard to tell, but there's actually some little tiny bits of glitter in there.
yeah,
And then
you
I
can see
got
it.
the green glow in the dark version that they did this year too. So this was like the first thing that I really went out of my way to get toy-wise, and I think it was because I think it was Nick Dillinger or someone posted it on the Discord. And I was like, "Oh, that's cool, like, it's a different
Mhm,
color, like, it's translucent, it's iridescent," and I think this one I can't remember if this one glows in the dark or not. This one definitely does. Um, but yeah, I, like, very drawn to things that don't look exactly like they're supposed to or just, yeah, the, like, colorfulness for sure, which I have a lot of things that look like the characters, like a lot of my Lord of the Rings or some of my Ghostbusters as well, but yeah, those things really stand out to me for sure, but in terms of like an actual line, yeah. So that's this corner. There's the seahorse, which I have to
well,
move around.
you got a space for the
Go ahead.
Rivendell. That's impressive.
Yes. I knew where that was going right away. I was like, "That's going on top." Um, yeah, which these drawers that are next to me, those have all my makeup in them, which most of my makeup actually isn't in there because I'm never home, they're in bags. But yeah, so I decided to put all my Lord of the Rings stuff, so there's space for more under there. So
Yeah.
if anyone did like a really good Lord of the Rings line, I would probably go all in, but anything else right now, it's just like what looks cool to me, essentially. That's my random shelf down there. Johnny, I will paint my face now. Cause yeah, I did. I still need to get the Slimer though. Um, yeah. It was mostly because each person had a different little fright feature.
Yeah,
So I
they
had
Quip
to.
Quip is right.
No, I can't afford that. I can't.
Well, you could if you only wanted 1 toy every, like,
Yeah,
6 to 8 months. That's how you
exactly.
do that. That's how you
Exactly.
do that.
I think eventually I do like, that's gonna be a milestone for me for sure is getting Hot Toys. Yeah, so on top, I have my popcorn buckets, which I've gotten rid of a couple, and, like, I just if you go I think I can I don't know
Nah,
if you can see it.
maybe on
No,
another
not
picture.
in that one.
I cannot go up any
Um,
higher.
yeah, I can actually just do this. My popcorn buckets. Oop, bye, Egon. Up there. Um Which I've gotten rid of a couple of them. But yeah, Harry Potter, I mean a lot of that stuff is just stuff that I've collected. Those bookends though, those are actually my friend's dad who passed away a couple years ago. She was like going through his stuff earlier this year and she gave me those that were his and also the Hobbit that he had as well and I immediately started crying. I was like, God damn it. So those are very
Sentimental.
meaningful to me. Yeah, very sentimental. And yeah, don't have too much Jurassic Park yet, but the new that new Dino DNA little
The
guy
set.
is pretty cool. Is pretty freaking cool.
Yeah.
And then there's my Marvel shelf, my new Stranger Things shelf because I got all the little people. So many little people.
And then of course you got the real Ghostbusters at the back of that
Mhm.
one.
Well,
Are those the DST ones or those
they're
Mezcos?
the Stranger Things
Oh,
Ghostbusters,
okay.
like when they dressed up as Ghostbusters. Yeah,
Gotcha.
and then that's the actual Ghostbusters shelf,
And there's
which I
your
think
Tony
like
Taylor
half
toys.
yeah, like half of that is Tony Taylor
Yeah, I was gonna say.
slash Phantasm toys. Like there's the Slimer, there's the Library Ghost, the Destructor, the Strut and Moog, the like big Strut and Moog. I have the glow in the dark one. Um, there's a lot. There's Jizzy Vinkman, as I call him, because I literally only got him and the little firehouse because he looked like that. Yeah,
This is your
there's
Star Wars shelf.
yeah, and I have pictures that are closer up of all of these too. I don't know if you
Hang on. Give me
have those
1
on
second.
with
I
you.
gotta go deal with
Okay.
something. I will be right
Okay.
back.
No worries. Um, let's see. Yeah, Egon fell. He's okay though. He's good. He's good, guys. Um, Jurassic Park is so good, but no room for all the dinos. Yeah, which I kind of forgot that I ordered the what is it? The Hungarian horntail from Harry Potter and then what was it? Smog? Yeah, Smog from McFarlane and I'm like hell if I know where those are going. I don't have any, but my first 2 PlayStation when I was in theater. I think those 2. Yeah, I have a little Pua. I love Pua. Actually have quite a few Pua things. I did take back the black suit Heidi, Phantasm, also Oz. It's spelled with a F. Come on, you should know this. um Entertain oh, yes. I'm entertaining. Plug Geek the F out. Yes. Go follow Geek the F out on YouTube, subscribe, hit that like, hit that bell icon, hit that subscribe. Go follow us on socials at GTFO channel. And then do the same for Pains. Do all the things. Smack all the things. Do a flip.
All right.
I will
Sorry.
not do a kick. You're fine.
What are you doing? What are you doing? Hello. Are you coming to say
Nugget.
hi? Are you coming to say hi? Oh, no, no. Don't show me your belly.
Oh,
You're so
yes, we gotta
cute.
get the babies out. The baby.
The baby had to come say
The
hi.
baby.
Baby had to come say hi.
Hey, baby.
Had to come say hi. Over here showing her belly to me. I'm like, what? No. Okay. So we're on the bobbleheads here.
That's just like my sports area in general, which I had to smush in there. And then
And I see
yeah,
you
there's
have
masters.
a flocked space.
So, they're all still in their boxes because me, Allison, and Toy Sorceress are going to do a Women of Motu stream eventually.
Oh.
So I've just kind of kept them, which we'll probably do around when Revolution comes out. So that's why they're still in their boxes because I want to unbox them then. But I had to unbox Mommy because I got her at
I'm
Comic Con.
surprised Mommy fits. I mean, honestly.
Yeah, she does, and then I'm hoping to, like, actually open it up once
And
I open up the
and
other
there's your
boxes. There's
Skeletorog.
yeah, yep. I think yeah, and there's another one. They're just all over the
You know what?
place.
I think every toy person has some unopened toys somewhere.
Yeah, and it kind of annoys me that they're not, but I'm like, "It's fine, it'll help me learn patience."
Let me see
Yeah,
what
and I
they
think I did more close-ups. So yeah, all my OG
Yeah.
books, and then those 2 pops that are back there, they're signed by Fred and George Weasley, and I met them.
Oh,
That was
cool.
pretty cool. I got a lot of wands. Yeah,
Yeah,
there you
that's
can
what it
see
was.
the little people.
That is your close up. Now here's your close up
Mhm.
of Rivendell. Now, that took you
Mhm.
quite a while to get that done.
It did, and it moved around with me a lot too, which was terrifying.
Oh, I can
Pro
imagine.
Yeah. Once I got to because it was the left and the right side. The left side was first, and then it was the right side, and then it was the middle. So luckily, by the time I got to the middle, I had only done actually, no, I did the bottom, and I think I started to build the columns, and then I moved it home where I finished it. So, yeah, it was, somehow I didn't lose any of the pieces that I'm aware of.
The miracle. Well,
We'll
they
see.
always give you at least a couple extras of something, so
Yes, which that
you know.
baggie on the left over there, that's the extras.
And this is
Uh,
your action figure collection. Now, what is
yeah.
this
The
golden
golden.
thing?
That's the 2018 Weta, San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, which when
Okay.
I got it, I that was my first time going to Comic-Con, and I didn't even know they were having a Weta booth, and I was like I got a couple of things, and I was like, "What should I get that's special?" And, because I had just gone to New Zealand, like, 3 months before this, and I had gotten a few things from Hobbiton, including that, prancing pony, uh, bottle opener that's on the right. Um, that one I
Uh,
just actually got from the toy show that went to with, Brick and Michael from Toy Habits.
oh, nice.
And then the Frodo with the cobwebs on him, that was the exclusive from Comic-Con this year. And then that, King of the Dead that's, like, all white and, like, many
Mhm.
layered on the top left, he glows so much. That thing is, like, over 20 years old, and he glows like no other. It is
It's probably not
crazy.
glowy powder, it's radioactive.
Honestly,
You've been microdosing on
like, I'll
radiation
wake
for
up
the
in the
last
middle of the
20.
night, and I'll see that, and I'm like, "Dear God, Jesus in heaven." But, yeah, I love the Weta mini epics, they're really cool. I got a bunch of them in January because they were doing free shipping because it comes from New Zealand, so
Uh,
they were doing free shipping, I'm like, "You got me."
yeah, well,
Um,
free shipping's always a good thing, especially international.
yeah, yeah, and then that clear, uh ring wraith that's on the bottom. I was trying to figure out what
That
that glare
Yeah,
was. Yeah,
that's cool.
plutonium. Yeah, I got that. That was an exclusive from Weta. And then I think I did another picture later where that wood block on the left is actually my friend like uh burned I forget the term for it, but like wood burning.
Yeah, it's wood burning.
Um yeah, yeah, yeah. All we have to decide is what to do with the time that is given to us, which is my favorite quote from Lord of the Rings. And she gave that to me as my graduation present from college. So a lot of sentimental value with that one too.
But it's an important lesson. Okay.
Hmm. That was my high school graduation quote. Yeah, that's the whole corner. So I'm
This
gonna
might
move around
be
the pictures.
Oh, this is just a better shot of the Rivendell, I guess, and your wall.
Hmm. Yeah, that's like so I'm gonna move that above the Rivendell, so the map, and then I'm gonna put the Lost and the Harry
Yeah,
Potter ones on this wall, and then move down the trio of Lord of the Rings women.
yeah, that
Because
makes
I
sense.
also have to move up my Avengers one, because now the popcorn buckets go over like half of it, because nothing was up there originally.
You know what, Ed? It's whatever makes you happy. That's kind of what this
Mhm.
is all about. So
Yeah.
this is your obviously your movie collection and book
Yes.
collection,
Yeah. So
and
I
poor Gollum here on the wall.
Yeah, because he was taller, so that was kind of the only place I could fit him.
I just
Um, which that was actually, I think from either last year or the year before, there was, like I think it was Entertainment Earth or someone was doing, like, a gift bag. It was, like, $75 flat price, and then, flat rate, and then it was kinda surprise Lord of the Rings stuff you got in it. I think that
yeah.
was one of the things. Um, yeah, and then that little tiny hobbit hole on top is from Weta as well. They make really cool miniature versions of all the hobbit holes. And then
Well, I mean,
I have
they do have the models, so it's not like they can't cheat makeup.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Um, yeah, and I have, like, the one ring, but it's oh my god, it's, like, 15 years old now, and it's in silver, so it's, like, very faded, and I have
Mhm.
the replica of oh my god, why am I blanking on the name right now? It's my
It
tattoo.
yeah, it's because 'cause you're live, that's why you're blanking, it happens.
Yeah, the,
Apparently, Oz is taking over your job, and then
it's a tiny yes. Yeah, it's just kind of a collection of knickknacks that I've,
but
collected
they
over
mean
the
something to
years.
you because The Lord of the Rings
Mhm,
means something to you, so
mhm,
knick-knack would be more like you picking up, I don't know, like a rock from where you're going.
mhm. So, yeah, there you can see the wood
Ah, yeah,
burning my
okay,
friend did, and
yeah.
the pop-in back is signed by Sean Astin when I met him the day before I went to New Zealand in 2018, so that was pretty awesome, and then I got to, like, tell him more about it when I saw him again a couple weeks ago. That was fun, and he was like, "Is that restaurant still there?" I'm like, "Kind of." There's, like it's confusing. There's, like, 2, yeah, it's a whole thing.
So, yeah,
Um,
so it's like the sequels that everybody does, right?
yeah.
Somebody saw an idea and so this is the Stay Puffs. They're
Yeah,
all
those are the ones that
is
came
this
with the
the one
proton
from the
pack.
yeah, I was gonna say,
I
'cause
bought them off someone. I was like, "I
ah,
just want the burnt Stay Puffts, they're so cute."
okay.
Yeah.
I was wondering
And
because
then
I was
that
like, I didn't see a proton pack nowhere in them pictures, and I wrote it
no,
really
I am gonna be, ordering the trap and PKE meter though, because I can fit those. I was not around when the pack came out. I
yeah.
was not aware of it, or else I definitely would have ordered it, but also I'm like, "Where the fuck would I put that?"
You
But
know what?
the trap and
It's
PKE
strange.
meter, they're
We
doable.
we call those future problems.
Mhm. Exactly.
Like this his tank was a future problem, now it's a present
Mhm.
problem. But it's not really a problem because 'cause I'm excited about it, but it's still a
Yeah.
problem because it's
Yeah.
big.
Yep.
It is smaller than
Yeah.
I thought it would be box-wise.
Okay. Interesting.
It must be that everybody that I've seen hold it must be really tiny people. That's the only thing I can assume. Because the ones that I've
That's
seen
funny.
holding it, I mean, it looks big, and I'm looking at this box
Mhm.
going,
That can happen when
"Hmm,
people take, pictures of things. You don't know really how big they
yeah,
are until you see it in
yeah."
real life. It
Yeah,
happens.
you always get that surprise, right? Mm.
Yep. That Slimer that's in the very back with the spaghetti, that's actually the Weta Mini Epic version. It's
Oh,
really cool.
cool.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that one. And I got it on sale on Amazon for, like, I think pretty cheap. It was normally, I think, like 40, and I got it for not that much.
Okay,
Yeah,
you don't have a
there's
whole lot of
mommy.
Origins figures, but you do happen to have Moss Man and Scareglove.
Yeah. I mean, I if you to like, people have told me Origins Masterverse, I'm like, "I don't know, like, they just look cool," and, like,
Yeah.
Scareglow and, I forget the name of the blue He-Man.
He's Skeletor.
He's Skelly? Yeah, he's Skelly. Um, those actually I got from Cobb, and the Squirtor, I mean, I had to get the Squirtor. And then green's my favorite color, and he's fuzzy, and everyone was making a big deal out of him, so, yeah, luckily someone was able to find me a Moss Man and Johnny. They found actually both for both of us at the same time. It was great.
Yeah, I
Um,
managed to find
yeah,
one for Allison, so
nice.
well,
But yeah, I'm
I walked
excited
in and
to open the rest.
there was like 8 sitting there, and I was just like,
Damn. I've never seen them, and also, like, I've never seen, like, any Motu stuff, like, they never have any Motu stuff. So, yeah, these are
"No,
my random shelves.
But you got is this the Jada Toys
The
blueberry?
blueberry. Mm-hmm.
It's great
Mm-hmm.
though.
Mm-hmm. And there
But you got
that's a
stuff
little.
behind it. You got pops behind it.
So
You got
those
the
are the
Wednesday.
2. Yeah, those are the 2 pops because my friend had an extra ticket for Funko Fun Days at Comic-Con this year, and, like, I've always heard that it's a lot of fun, not super into Funko, um, but yeah, my friend found that for me, like, years ago, randomly. I have no idea, like, what brand or anything it is. It's, like, bendy, it's like a bendy fig. Um but yeah, so at Fun Days, they give a lot of Funkos away,
Hmm.
and I was there, like, in place of someone who was gonna be selling them, and so they ended up, like, deciding not to sell them because they were, like, a more pop or not a more popular. It was, like, they gave out a larger number of them, so they weren't gonna be selling them for that much, so those were my, like, consolation prizes,
Hmm.
which they did have the very special, like, only made, I think, like, 750 of the Spock Freddy Funko, and, my friend actually was able to find it, like, a couple weeks later for not as expensive as it was originally going for, because it was going for, like, $500, and, luckily, I was able to find it for a lot less than that, because once it was in my hand, I'm like, "Oh, I want this because it's Spock, and,
Hmm.
there's only 750 of them," and my friend's like, "No, he wants to sell it." I'm like, "Damn
Yeah.
it," and then yeah.
When I saw that you bought the Barbie and Ken Star Trek set, I was like, I have that in my garage and I don't want it
Oh, no. I got that at the toy show with Brick and Michael.
because it belonged to I got it for my ex-wife back in the day,
Mm,
and
mhm.
it literally just sat in the garage. It had never been opened.
It's funny because 'cause I've seen it a couple times now, and then my friend who messaged me the other weekend and was like, "Do you know anyone who likes Star Trek toys?" I'm like, Me," sent
Yeah,
me
exactly.
literally that set, the bridge set that I also got that same
Hmm.
day, and then a shit ton of other stuff, and I was like, "Wow, I could have gotten both of those things for $5 each," because she ended up selling me the rest of the figures for, like, $5 each that I wanted, so because she has no idea what they cost, and honestly, those ones probably are about that much anyways, but I'm like, "Dang, I could have gotten those for cheaper," but oh well.
And I see some
Yeah.
Aardman figures.
Aardman.
The Shaun the Sheep, the
Oh,
Wallace
oh,
and
oh.
Gromit.
I just think of it as Wallace and Gromit. So those I got at the same toy show. I didn't even know they made Wallace and Gromit figures, and dear Lord, those
I
were more
didn't know either,
expensive.
but it makes
Yeah.
sense. I mean, there were kids. It was
Yeah.
designed for kids.
Yeah, which
Now,
I loved
Thanos is
growing up.
loving your "This is fine" dumpster fire.
That was an exclusive for this year, and it glows in the dark from 100 soft. And then there's 2 more dumpster fires below it, but is very cute. The little it's from the meme.
Yeah. Except what they should have done is done instead of the dumpster fire. What they should have done is just done the house with the dog sitting in it and the fire coming around.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they do that's their whole thing is dumpsters, so but I mean, they probably could have
Yeah.
still
Now,
done something.
the other interesting thing I'm seeing here is what in the heck is the demon at the back?
That's the one from, Legions?
Is that the
That was
D13?
I think so,
Did you
I
get
don't
one of the
Adam
D13
got it
ones?
for me, who gave it to Brick, who brought it back down for me. I just know it's glow in the dark.
Okay.
I
I don't
really
think it's a
don't know too
Legions
much.
thing. I think it's a D13. Yeah. Oz is saying
Well,
it's
no,
D13.
it
I'm
was
pretty
at
sure.
Legion's
I thought it
Con.
was interesting that it's all the way at the back behind Wednesday Adams. I'm just saying.
Oh, well, that's just,
That's some interesting
because you gotta
happenstance
go
there.
from shorter to taller. I don't know. Also,
I
the
know.
Wednesday.
I'm just saying. There's an interesting happenstance there.
Okay.
So here's your Star Trek. And you have
Yes.
Mike and okay, you have some Disney stuff at the top shelf.
Yeah, the Doorables that I unfortunately got into a couple months ago that
Uh-oh.
I now have way too many.
You're regretting it is what you're saying?
No, I don't regret it. It just, like, turned into a whole thing because 'cause they're mystery blind
Yeah,
bags,
yeah. Blind
and so
bags, yeah.
f yeah, so f I have a whole other bag of just extras that I still need to, like, either, like, give to people that want them for their kids, or I'm probably gonna sell more of
Mhm.
the more, like, rare ones because they go for a wee bit. Um, but I eventually there was some that it got to the point where I was just getting the same things again that I
Yeah.
just ended up going on eBay and getting the, like, handful that I still wanted. Because there's, like it was, like, a bunch of different, movies, and each movie had, like, 5 or 6 little guys, and
Yeah.
some of them I only wanted a couple, some of them I wanted all of them, so, yeah, that was a whole venture.
Chris is making a good point. Accidental collecting holes are fun, up to a point. I will
Mhm,
say it is up to a point.
mhm,
Blind bags make me insane.
mhm. Yeah. So yeah, that's the bridge, and then I've put the mirror universe, Spock and Kirk there, and then, the
I love the
3
way they
transporters.
did the translucent figures for the transporter.
The transport yeah. I those are ones that I definitely wanna get more of, but, like, got the ladies first because priorities, and
Yeah,
then the little,
priority.
yeah, and then back in the back there, you can see the Spock Funko, and then the
Yeah.
little people that I got from, uh, Comic-Con exclusive. Yeah, this is turtles.
This
Everyone's
is your
seen these
turtles.
turtles in, precarious positions on, Oz's stream.
Poor turtles.
Yeah. Yeah, they're pretty. I love them, especially the
No,
glow in the
the
dark
babies
ones.
in front are all the glow in the dark one, right?
So, yeah, the babies and then the first line of turtle tots, those are glow in the dark, and then the ones behind them are glow in the dark.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, but I had to get the other turtle tots. So, yeah, Lost, love Lost. I've had both of those figures/dioramas since they came out, and I got them when I was younger. Corn. I was literally Yeah, and I've actually never played the Lost game. I've just had it for whatever reason. But yeah, I was known as the lost girl in, like, middle school and high school, so that was a big thing for me, and I got those Funkos, like, years and years ago, so I've just always kinda had those.
All right. I think this is just a tighter shot or a looser shot. I don't know which one. Hang on. Yeah, so it's just more shots of the same thing. So hang on. All right.
Yeah. And then
We
my Corgi/Bob's slash Bob's Burgers, which is mostly Coochie
y-
Copy.
yeah, I was wondering what why they were Bob's Burgers. I was like, what?
It's from Bob's Burgers, it's Louise's toy, and
Yeah,
has just become into a mass marketed thing, obviously.
obviously. Why not?
Most
You're gonna make
yeah.
money somewhere, right?
The
Well,
Louise one is a nightlight from Comic Con exclusive this year.
oh, okay.
Mhm.
So obviously you have a thing for corgis.
Mhm.
You see, did not know that before now. All right.
You
So
didn't? How did you not know that? I'm
I knew
surprised.
dogs. I didn't know corgis. I mean, that's a very
Oh,
specific
yeah.
dog.
Oh, yeah. I've been obsessed for, oh gosh, at least a decade now. Over a decade, actually. Yeah. I think I was like a sophomore in college or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got to play with this corgi yesterday at work. Some
Love.
customers home.
They're the best. They're
Oh,
me in dog
he
form,
was
as I
all
like to
excited. He was
say.
all excited to see me. I was like, dude, I don't know you, but okay, we'll play.
They're
I
always
give you love.
excited.
My dog will be mad at me later. It'll be fine. So
Yes, Chris, you have half corgis.
it's he only has half corgis. What did he do with the other half?
Mhm. I don't know.
Chris,
You'll have
do
to
we have
ask
to have a
him.
conversation again?
Do we have to have
You
another
don't you
intervention?
you don't cut the dogs in half. I'm just saying. Don't cut the dogs in half. All right. So now you didn't always collect
Mm-mm.
toys, but
Mhm.
have you always collected something?
Yeah, I mean, even before like more seriously started collecting toys, I still like I got like those Funkos, like I got um, like those different I love the like not manuals, but like I have the Lost one and I have the Hobbit like book of like all the behind the scenes kind of stuff from movies and TV shows and
Encyclopedias of the shows, kind of.
encyclopedia. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the word. I could not think of it. Um, yeah, I've always kind of gotten some things here and there most of the time from cons. Like the golden Gandalf, like I had already
Yeah.
gotten that. So like I was kind of already collecting things. Yeah, even what was the other things that I would get? There was something else. Or just like the Captain America stuff, like I got the prayer candle and, um, yeah, just like fun stuff like that, and I've always kind of gone through phases of obsessions with different things, so, like, I had, like, a sticker obsession when I was younger and would have, like, lots of sticker books, like, I would just get hyper fixated on those and collect a lot of
Puffy stickers.
stickers and yeah, and yeah, I've just kind of always had phases of collecting different things. Yeah, and being obsessed with different things. And I think for me now, I'm a very like tangible visual person. And
Mhm,
so like seeing those things of like properties I love and being able to hold them in my hands means a
mhm.
lot to me. Um yeah, so I've definitely had, like, phases over the years, like, I have a lot of vinyl too, I still collect it, but not as crazy as I was at one point. Um, yeah.
So you've mentioned that this most of this collection is kind of accumulated over the last 8 months. So what specifically changed that kind of
Well,
said,
it's been, like, a year and a half now,
okay,
just,
so
like, I
you that
haven't,
you're
like, put stuff
what
away.
specifically changed that it was it what was it that said this is something that I want to do now? Why toys in this instance?
So, unfortunately, I was already friends with a toy tuber, aka Jay of Geek Dad Life.
Yeah.
I was already friends with him from his Lost podcast days and been friends with him and Colleen for like I think almost 10 years now. And like I knew about his channel, but uh like at first I was like, ah, toys, like, okay, whatever. And then it was a little over 2 years ago, I think it was, like, we did our because we do, like, an annual meetup for the, like, podcast community group.
Hmm.
We usually do it in May, but we did it in October 2021, and, I think it was, like, around that time that, like, either, like, talking about it or something at the meetup, and I was like, "Oh, that sounds fun," and, like, seeing his collection in person is just, like, crazy, which I've seen it before that because that was, like, my 2nd or 3rd time going to the meetup, something like that. Um, but yeah, so I started watching sometime around then, and then, yeah, just all, went downhill from there.
You have
I
been
started
enabled.
watching Yeah, I started watching and, like, I've always been in these, like, tangential nerd geek communities, and that's where I've
Hmm.
always felt, uh, like, my homes are
Yeah.
essentially, like, these are my people, um, and so, obviously still had a lot in common, and, at that time, all I really had to offer to the conversation was innuendos, and, I still do that a lot of the time, but I definitely know a lot more now than I did then about toys, and like I mentioned before, I love learning, and so learning about this whole new world and niche and just, yeah, just the entire thing was so fascinating to me, which he always joked, he's just like, you probably think it's silly." I was like, "No, this is actually, like, really interesting," and, like, everyone in the community was, like, so, like, open and, like, welcoming to me, and
Mhm.
which, like, granted, I'm sure a lot of it was because I always made innuendos, but, everyone was great, and I found, like, Toy Anxiety and Mad Hatter and Mega J and just, like, found more and more people,
Yeah.
and, yeah, yeah, it just, yeah, so I blame him for everything, essentially.
So, so we'll just write that down as this is all Jay's fault.
Yeah, which he blames me for everything, so it's only
It-
fair that I
yeah, there you go.
blame him.
Turnabout is fair play. Exactly. So
Yeah, yeah.
do you with your collection, obviously space is a concern more than anything. Um, do you have any collection rules that kind of help you rein it in a little bit?
Um, yeah, definitely, like, not buying anything too big, for sure, and
Is there
yeah,
ever
not
anything too big? Let's be honest.
Yes. If I lived on my own and could put stuff outside of my room, the limit does not exist. But yeah, in terms of rules, yeah, it definitely can't be too massive, which I'm looking at you, fucking seahorse, that I did not realize was gonna be that big or also was gonna be that heavy and gonna be that hard to put the ball in the hole. Um,
Yeah, well,
but
balls on balls. It
yes,
happens.
yeah, yeah, it happens. Um, but yeah, I think in terms of rules, like, yeah, nothing too expensive either. Um, yeah, still trying to establish my life a bit and student loans and credit cards that unfortunately are a thing that was not my choice because had to help my family.
Yeah.
Um yeah, so definitely rules, and I think another big one that, like, recently I've had is just, like, like, there's so many toys out there and, like, would love to get all the Star Trek toys, but I'm like, "Is this, like, cool enough for me to get now?" Because I've gotten a few things now where I'm like, "It's cool, it's different, but, like, I probably could have gone without it."
Yeah,
Um
we'll get to regrets and remorse for buyer
Yeah,
regrets
I mean,
and remorse for buyer.
I don't think I regret anything so far, at least. I do have a number of pre-orders that I mean, I don't even know what a lot of my pre-orders are at this point. Um,
Honestly, I think that's just modern collecting is you have pre-orders.
yeah,
We don't
yeah,
actually get figures, we get pre-orders. We collect pre-orders. The
yeah,
figures just happenstance later because half of the time we're gonna go back and cancel it when we find that toy.
yeah,
So,
which
they're
it's funny
pre-orders that are
because
just space holders. They're like
yeah,
like you used to get the cards and you had to take them up to the counter to buy something. That's what that
mhm,
is. It's the card.
yeah,
It's just not a
yeah.
physical.
Yeah, yeah, I think just, like, for me at this point, it's like, is this really, like, cool, or is this, like, I don't know, like, is it different enough? Is it more
Does it
rare
make
if it's something
sense?
that's not, yeah, like, does it fit? Like, is it different from other stuff I already have? Um, yeah, is that like an NFT?
Yeah, and
Essentially.
apparently Chris is saying he's drowning, but he's
Yeah.
never getting out of it. I honestly, I'll be paying off stuff till I die. So
Yep. Yep. That's
actually,
how
I'll
the world
probably be
works,
paying off stuff
unfortunately.
after I die. But let's
Oh god, I know. It's, one
it's a,
would think you wouldn't have to do that, but
technically it depends on what happens. You don't have to. In some states, you do.
yeah, yeah.
Depends on
You
community
shouldn't you
property
shouldn't
law.
have to, period.
Yeah.
It's
So,
silly.
so are there any things that you don't do with your toys, but you'd like to do?
Sorry. Um,
Yeah, I know that one was a wide open question for you.
Yeah.
Let's
I
veer
don't
towards the left.
yeah, yeah. I don't know, cause like, I've thought about customizing and, like, it's just, like, a whole other world, um, and,
But
like, I've always been
it's not
artistic and
really.
stuff.
I wouldn't. I
Yeah,
wouldn't
I
have thought
know.
so.
Like, I would love to customize Cosmic Skelly to look like a Balrog, like, that's probably one thing that for sure I would wanna do, cause like, that's why I got him, cause I'm like, "You're a Balrog." Um, yeah, yeah, and I've heard it's a rabbit hole as well. I don't know. Like, I think there's obviously options out there, but I think for now it's still so early days for me that I just like playing with them and organizing them and putting them in different positions, LOL. I can. Um, yeah, yeah. So not quite there yet.
So, do you have any those moments where we're as collectors is where we buy something and we're just like, why did I buy that? And when I say
Um,
regrets, and that's kind of where it is, because there's times where I'll buy something and I'm just like, I'm thinking to myself, because I have that new rule now that I have to walk around with it for a few minutes before I decide to actually buy it.
yeah.
If I can
Which it's
manage to not convince myself to put it back,
I do the same
it
thing.
goes with me. Now,
Yeah.
I may look at it later and go, "Why did I do that?" It was like sometimes it's just price. I mean, if
Yeah.
you're telling me I can get a figure for 4.99, it's really, really hard for me to put that figure back up,
Yeah, I'm
especially if I
trying to
know what the
think.
pieces are and I know that I can do more with that figure.
Yeah.
But, you know, I
That's funny
I don't
because
know.
I've been doing that for actually, like, years now, just with stuff in general, especially if I'm at, like, Target, because that's a fucking rabbit hole every time you walk in there.
Pretty much.
Um, yeah, like, I'll put things in my basket, and I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna think about it," and at the end, if I still want it, and I've done that a couple times now with toys too, but, I mean, most of the time, I'm either ordering them online or getting them in stores or in, sorry, in at toy shows. Um, but I don't really think there's anything I regret, even with like price wise. I mean, I may have slightly overpaid for the Wallace and Gromit, but for me, like the nostalgia of that, because like that was something me and my dad like loved to watch together, and he
Mhm.
loves Wallace and Gromit. So for me, I'm like, can't really put a price on that.
Yeah.
So I was willing to pay a little more anyways.
Call that call that the nostalgia tax.
Yes.
Because that's what
Yes,
we all
indeed.
willingly pay it in different amounts,
Mhm.
one way or the other.
Mhm.
If and that's the whole point of this in any collection, really. It's a nostalgia tax. It's not
Yeah.
you're collecting because it makes you feel something that you felt at some other point.
Yeah. So I don't really think so. Yeah, like the most expensive thing I've gotten is the Rivendell, and I am so glad I got that. Um, yeah, which I would love to get more, but yeah, no space.
Y- Well, space and Lego is not cheap. I mean,
Yeah,
as
Lego
much
is
as
not.
much as I like Lego, it just I bought sets for my son for years. Those were his
Mhm.
Christmas, birthday presents, everything for I don't know,
Mhm.
probably better part of like 6 years. And that stuff
Mhm.
is not cheap. I
Yeah.
always thought, even as a kid, it was expensive for me as a kid, and you didn't really
Mhm.
have anything but like that basic set back in the day. So it wasn't like
Yeah.
there was any fancy sets that had Star Wars on them until 20 some odd years ago when Star Wars first came
Mhm.
out.
Mhm. Yeah, there
So
I mean, I thought by the time I was done, it was worth every penny for sure.
yeah,
Um, I mean, it's freaking massive. And also just the construction of it because I had played with Legos a bit with my friend who was really into them as a kid, but I never had any Legos except for the big blocks, but those weren't Legos. Um, but yeah, so just like the construction and just like as I'm putting it together and I could tell just like how much time and effort and energy and engineering was like put into it and like all the details, I was like, okay, like I can really like appreciate this and tell how much went into it. But yeah, not cheap, but yeah, yeah, that's it.
No, the Lego is one of those cavernous holes. It's not even a small hole because you just start. You start with one
Yeah.
thing, and then it just kind of meanders to this bigger thing, and then it can go to this bigger
Mhm.
thing, and then you know, it's all downhill
Mhm.
after the first few.
And now they have all the sets that, like, you can attach to each other, like all the
Exactly.
Diagon Alley ones, which I love the new Gringotts that came out, but, like, yeah, where am I gonna put that? Also, the new Avengers Tower, would love to get that.
Mhm.
Literally no place, like, it would need to go on the ground or here, which this it would take up half my desk, which I would like my desk.
You like your desk too much for that, right?
Yeah, even
So,
though it's small,
a
that's
lot
okay.
of the stuff that you had does have a lore attached to it. So,
Mhm.
does that lore attract you to it more? Does the surrounding of it?
Yeah, with most of my stuff, yes. There's been a couple lines now, both turtles and with Motu, because before I got or when I was getting a lot of the turtle stuff, I hadn't seen anything turtles yet. I knew the
Yeah.
movie was coming out, and I was like, these just look cool to me. Ended up loving the movie, and I watched the 1990 movie a few days before seeing Mutant Mayhem, and I was like, "Oh, this is actually, like, really good." So, like, I went in on that before I watched anything of it just because it
Yeah.
was cool, and those damn glow in the darks, they got me. And same with Motu, like, I've still not watched anything. We're actually gonna be doing a watch rewatch of Revelation, right before Revolution comes out, and, but yeah, it looked cool to me. Yeah, especially because like, so many people collect Motu, and
Mhm.
yeah, that's why, like, I love Scareglow, I love, He Skelly because 'cause they're different, like, and obviously Squirtor and Mossman, like, obviously, there's a lot in that line that are, like, different,
Yeah.
but yeah, those in particular, and then obviously had to get Mommy Motherboard, and then I decided to get a bunch of the women because hell yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
They're actually nice looking figures. They've done a good job, and they don't have the
Mhm.
spindly. My big gripe about Marvel Legends females figures and even GI Joe figures that are females,
Mhm.
they make their legs unrealistically spindly, and they're too
Oh,
thin.
yeah.
And it's like, come on.
Which they did
That's
make, hers thicker. Oh my gosh. Oh no. Everything's everything's all
ah,
falling. I saw that coming.
the dreaded everything's gonna fall out of the shelf. There it went.
Speaking of, they actually made her
A
legs
little thicker.
and the butt.
Yeah,
Yeah, especially compared to
she's still got
Gwen.
the spindly knees and the weird ankles.
Like, that's
Well,
definitely
the Gwen is from the movie,
plus
right?
Gwen is yeah.
It's from the movie line. So that one, they all of those had weird legs. That whole movie line. It's meant to
Yeah, they
keep it in
don't
the aesthetic
stand
of the show
too
of the
well.
movie. So, but yeah, no, just something about spindly legs. It just makes me cringe a little bit. It's like, come on, they're nobody has legs that look like that. They don't
Yeah.
V-taper
I'm
that
just
way.
glad, like, obviously, like, the skinny waist and the wide hips, but at least the legs are thicker
Yeah,
for
a little
sure,
bit.
and they have good definition, especially compared to Gwen's, but yeah, Gwen is skinny in the movie anyways.
Yeah.
Thick thighs save lives, baby.
Chris wants more beefy ladies, please.
There you go.
There you go. No, it always makes me crazy because you get these women and you know that they're not going to be like twigs. I mean, I don't know what
Mhm.
mentality of,
Especially if you're crime fighting, like, you're gonna have some muscle on you, you're
yeah,
gonna
you're going to
have
be. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, has there ever been a time where the lore's kind of changed and it kind of changed what you felt about a particular thing that you were collecting?
Um, Maybe Harry Potter, because she's trash.
Queen of the
Um,
Turfs?
yeah. But I've separated her from Harry Potter itself at this point. So like there was definitely a minute there where I was like, like I think anyone who is a fan grew up being a fan of Harry Potter, was just kind of questioning things and
Mhm.
um their love of this whole world. So yeah, that happened to me for a bit, and then talked to some other people that were also fans, and slowly have just kind of separated the author from the material. Um and I also haven't like the only things I've bought that have been Harry Potter in the last few years have been from I got from an antique mall. I got a couple figures maybe 6 months ago. Um and then yeah, stuff that's not going to go into her pocket
Yeah.
is
So,
my philosophy at this point.
that's the way that I look at it too, some ways. I don't get that
Mhm.
whole mentality, but that just comes from understanding the actual process behind it a little better than
Mhm.
most people do.
Mhm.
So, knowing that it's not something that can't make somebody be something that they're not.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
It's whatever's in their head is who they are.
Mhm.
So, if let's say that it's in this brief microcosm of time that you've been collecting toys more regularly, has there been any point where you've kind of felt like a burnout with it, where you're just like, "Hey, I'm done. I'm done for a while. I just can't."
I'm definitely taking a break right now. A, because of the holidays, and B, just because, yeah, I've had so much build up. And now that I've put it away, I'm like, okay, this is a lot, a lot more than I thought. And I need to slow down because I'm really gonna have to pick and choose stuff. Like, I don't have any more room in my Ghostbuster shelf. I don't know. Yeah, I wouldn't call it burnout. It's just I'm aware of it and I'm like, okay, I need to slow down and pick and choose and whatnot,
Space
which
danger close is what you're saying?
space changer. Yeah,
Space danger.
definitely. Which of course, literally within the last 2 days, I got this stuff to my left. And I'm like, well, guess I'll have to find places for these guys now.
Isn't that kind of the truth, though, is when we get something that's like, because I go back and I can look at my shelves and I'm like, I don't have a whole lot of room left. But I literally have two shelves that just
Mhm.
have boxes on them that have accessories
Mm.
and other stuff. So
Mhm.
basically, it's all of this stuff that comes with the stuff, but
Yeah.
not the actual figures. It's just the accessories. I literally have two boxes of that. I have
Yeah,
a pretty small boxes on one shelf.
I have my accessory box actually underneath my computer.
So it's just like it's interesting that we get all this extra stuff, and it's just like it just takes up more space.
Yeah.
So, is there a time that you see yourself not collecting, and what would that look like?
Um, I don't know if I'll ever not collect toys or just, keepsakes in general. Maybe just slow down. Um, yeah, I think I just I just love little things that bring me joy, whether it's toys or just other little knickknacks. I don't think that's ever gonna end for me. At least I don't see it happening.
So the magic question then is, if space and money weren't an issue, what would Kayla collect?
Yeah, I definitely get a lot more Legos. I would get the giant Hogwarts Lego. I would get the Diagon Alley, the Gringotts Lego. I would get the Avengers Tower. I would want one of like every fandom, which I'm looking at this. I kind of have this long cabinet in between here and the other shelf with my record player on one side and, like, technically could fit something there, but it's also right in front of my window, so I'm, like, trying not to do that.
Yeah.
Um, because it would just, like, get in the way of everything. So yeah, I would definitely get that and get into Hot Toys for sure. Like, would love
Yeah.
to really get into them. Like,
Well,
buy
and
all of
there's
them.
things that you would like for the Hot Toys. Hot Toys for me, it doesn't do much for me because they're all movie based.
Mm,
I don't. I'm if I'm gonna go with comic book characters, I want the comic book characters. I don't want
mm,
movie based ones. They're
that's
okay. I'm
fair.
not saying they're bad. I just that's not where if I'm
Yeah,
wanting comic based, I want the comic based. And there, the other thing is there's a bunch of
totally.
standard ones too. So now, if they had some that were based on the comic books, I'd be in trouble. So with that, we're pretty much done with some basic questions, but we do have the
Mhm,
most important question of the evening.
mhm.
Hang on, I gotta find it here. Where to go? I always love how I have to go find stuff in here. So, what do you find joy in today?
Um, wow, I totally tried to prep myself on this question, and now I can't remember. I would say definitely, the dogs that I walked today. I actually had a fairly light day today, luckily. Yeah, they always bring me joy, little nuggets, and, very very grateful to have them in my life and, for what I do, and they always bring me joy, like, no matter how I'm feeling, like, instant serotonin. Um, yeah, and then there was something else I was gonna mention. Uh, shoot. I think just being here too, like, this is so much fun for me. Even though it is therapy in a way, just like geeking out about stuff. It's fun and yeah, it brings me a lot of joy for sure. And having this outlet now, having Geek the F out, having Johnny, having this community, yeah, like literally don't know what I would do without it now. It's kind of crazy. Like if you told me like 2 years ago this would be my life,
Yeah.
I'd be like, "The hell?" Like, I was adamantly opposed in starting a YouTube channel, like, Johnny knows this, I don't know if he's still watching, but, like, when we were trying to figure out a platform for our Trek Retrek show,
Mhm.
we were, like, thinking, like, podcast, and then, uh, we ultimately decided YouTube would be the best platform for it. But yeah, just, luckily this has been a great outlet. So yeah, this definitely brings me joy doing this. Dang it, there totally was something else and now I can't remember what it was. Oh, I had hot chocolate this morning. I had a
There
peppermint
you
hot
go.
chocolate and it was great.
There you go. It is hot
Yes.
chocolate time of year, even though you're
Yeah.
in California, and does it really get that cold? Let's be honest. Unless you're in the mountains,
It does for
it doesn't really
me.
get that cold.
It doesn't
Let's
really
be
get that
honest.
cold.
Talk to me when you get to the 20s and the teens, and then we'll talk about cold. I mean,
Yeah.
Chris can tell us all
I
about
ser
cold because he's in the Great
yeah.
White North, so
I will say when I went camping in the Grand Canyon, it did get down to 19 degrees one of the nights, and that was real fun camping outside in that, not in a warm house, outside. That was great. Little Mobius pick me up. Yeah, because I normally go for like mochas, but I'm trying to stay away from caffeine right now. Which I mean, obviously the chocolate still has caffeine, but not the same.
Yeah, not it. It won't affect it the way they should. Yeah, no.
Hmm.
Well, with that, why don't you tell these people where they can find you and what you have going on? And
Yeah. So yeah, you can follow or find me and my co-host Johnny. Our channel is Geek the F out. He just commented in the chat if you're in the chat right now. Um, yeah, we do weekly on Thursday Trek Retrek episodes where we're going one by one from the very beginning of Star Trek the original series, from our two very different perspectives of I have not seen anything Star Trek and he has seen everything. And so those are every Thursday for us. And then we are currently also doing a watch rewatch of Stranger Things, and we're in season 2, and those are coming out Wednesdays for the rest of the month. Um, and then, yeah, we'll be doing one on Revelation at the end of January. So look forward to that. And yeah, apparently we're only 2 subs away from 300, which is very exciting.
go
Um,
subscribe. Seriously.
um, yeah, and just like we talked about Ahsoka, we talked about Loki, we talked about Strange New Worlds because we decided that was okay because it's a prequel that we can cover that.
So, are you guys not touching on the Discovery or?
We'll get there eventually.
Okay.
Yeah, just cause Strange New Worlds is a prequel to the original
Original series, yeah.
series.
Well,
Yeah.
technically, Discovery is too.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. We'll see. But I think just
if
because
you
it
if
was,
you want to get really technical,
yeah.
season 1 is technically a prequel. So,
Yeah.
and then after that, it just kind of goes wildly in different directions. So, but that's
Yeah.
fine.
I think for like when we did Strange New Worlds, Johnny.
Uh, what? You know what, Johnny? I enjoyed it, and quite frankly, I'm enjoying the series. I didn't think I would enjoy it. Honestly, I did not think I would
um,
enjoy it, but I did.
that's funny. Um, Yeah, so I think for us, because when season 2 of Strange New Worlds was out and Johnny was watching it, this summer, he was like, "This is so good, I wish you could watch it." I'm like, "Now I really wanna watch it," but we were very adamant about, like, going from the beginning, and then finally, like, halfway through season 2, we were both like, "Let's just do it."
Have you guys ever talked about doing the Next Generation and then Deep Space Nine and then all of
Oh, we're
the?
gonna do all of them.
Okay,
Yeah, we're
okay.
starting at the
I was just
beginning.
curious because I know your guys
Oh,
are
we're
been
gonna be
focused this
doing it for
on.
forever. I'm unfortunately stuck with him forever.
Yeah, you got a long way to go because
Yeah, yeah.
there's definitely plenty of those.
Also, Thanos. I I like STG. Just the fact that that's
Yeah,
the
yeah,
shortened
that's not good.
version.
Yeah, that's not a good abbreviation there.
No.
That could be worse.
That's I've seen a lot of people do that though.
Yeah,
Um,
that
but yeah,
yeah, somebody wasn't thinking about that one.
no. No, they
Oops.
were not. But yeah, we're always kind of doing something, and
Well,
you can
let's
follow
be
us
honest.
on the
Deep Space
socials.
Nine isn't exactly a good choice either.
Yeah, that's true. um, yes. Yeah, we
Okay.
detoured a little bit. Um, but yeah, so you can follow us on all of our socials at GTFO channel. You can follow me at Silverkayy, which is over here because I'm mirrored right now. Um, yeah. It's been a grand old time. Did we want to do what we picked up this week? I don't
We
know if we
can.
did that. Oh, okay.
We can do.
I just realized
I mean,
that I put
all of pretty much most of mine is somewhere around here. I can find it. But yeah, we can do that. We
we don't
will.
have to. I just
No,
remembered
by
that.
all means, we can show what you got this week.
I put
What do
them
you
I
got? Let
put
me
them
pull you up
out.
on. Let me pull you
So,
up
I
on the
mean,
big screen. There
okay.
you go.
Well, first of all, I'll show off my seahorse again because everyone heard me struggle with I got the ball in the hole. But yes, I also got literally today in the mail. I pre-ordered this so long ago.
Miguel. Very
Yes, with
nice.
the really cool translucenty cape, which I also have the like one that came with like 2099 miles spot. I always want to say Voltron or Vulture.
Vulture?
What's his name?
Is it Vulture?
Purp
I don't know.
No, 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 no. In the first movie, his uncle,
Prowler?
Prowler. Uh him, Spider-Punk, because 2099, I will not grab him because everything will definitely
Yeah,
fall, but
no.
he's translucent. So now I have two of him, which is exciting. But yeah, had to get the Marvel Legends one, and then my Phantasm little Scolari brothers came in
Mm-hmm.
perfectly on time when we did our stream with Tony on Wednesday. They are
Nice.
awesome. Also translucent. And then this is also why I want to do pickups, because this is my first
Oh.
G.I. Joe.
Oh, you're venturing into the classified line.
Only because I have a thing for short-haired platinum blondes right now. Between
It's a very
Chapel
specific
and
thing.
Strange New Worlds and Shin Hati, and there was someone else recently too, but I had to get Helix. So very excited for that. My very first G.I. Joe, which I'm sure my dad would be like, why didn't you get those sooner?
Well,
And
here's
then
the thing. The legs on her may be a little gummy, so
okay.
just be warned.
Okay. Well, she's gonna go on my random shelf, so I'll figure it out because I don't have a GI Joe shelf. And then I got She-Ra, Princess of Power, and all that sparkly goodness.
Yeah, I
Love
have
the
that one.
sparkles. Yes, she came the other day. I think yesterday. LOL. Yes, very excited. That's it.
Big Bad, I'm assuming.
No, I think I did Entertainment Earth actually.
Oh. Okay, well, this is what I got.
Damn. Casual. Oh yeah, Sylvie too. I'm very into
And
Sylvie.
I found I got another trooper.
Nice.
Got another Cobra Trooper /
Nice.
officer. And then I bought two of these to do customs with. So I'm gonna have a whole fire team barbecue. But it's gonna be different people. And then I got something else came in too, and I can't find it at the moment. Where is it? Okay. Nope, that's not it. That's it. Shockwave.
Ooh. Nice.
So yeah, like I said, I have a whole box over here of Joes I haven't opened. I have Trouble Bubble sitting in here, and my second Trouble. Technically, it's my fourth. I have 2 white ones and 2 Python Patrol ones.
Damn.
So, and then I've got my Wave 3 AWOCs over there. The Headless Horseman. I've got 2 Snow Serpents, 2 weapons kits, and then Eel still waiting to be opened.
Damn.
I'm really behind. I gotta do better.
You should open them all when you open your His Tank tomorrow night. It'll just be a G.I. Joe fest.
Yeah, that's gonna be a lot.
What is the first thing you're gonna do when you open the His, like once it's opened and like assembled and everything?
I think I'm gonna dry fit it into the Dio, see how it fits.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna pull that in here. I've got a box over here that's my son's Christmas present. That's Literally, we're not wrapping it because there's no point in wrapping it. It's actually a box inside of a bigger box. So it's just
Mm,
like, we'll just let them, it's already wrapped. It's
yeah,
just wrapped
over there.
over there. It's just not have fancy stuff on it. It has Target tape on it. But
There
I'll
you go.
probably put it on top of that, try to test it and dry it out. But honestly, I
Nice.
just want to play with it. Honestly, it's the most expensive
Nice.
toy I bought. So
How much was it again? 400?
it was $299. So
Oh,
plus
300.
shipping, plus
That's
tax,
right.
so it was around 360.
Okay.
Wasn't
Yeah,
cheap.
that's right. It was 300.
So
I remember
yeah,
following
it wasn't
along.
cheap. It's the most expensive thing that I bought, and it was under my rule of 550. So we're good.
Mhm.
Anything
Mhm.
over 550, anything above that, no, it's a no go. For
Yeah.
one thing, no.
What was your first car that was
The
$550?
75 Mustang.
Ooh, that's
Yeah.
nice. That's
Had to,
cool.
if it wouldn't have blown 4 head gaskets in 6 months, it
Jesus.
probably would have made it past, 3 years. I didn't put
Yeah.
a whole lot of miles on it. And
Hmm. Hmm.
you know what? If I had room and I didn't have that rule, it is Cat Slayer, but realistically, I don't have all of the Thundercats. I'm getting Wily Kit and Wily Cat, and I'm done. If I had the whole Thundercats, set up and I could do a real big dio with it and add like an infinite space, I would by all means get that. And Johnny, uh, you mean your small coffee table?
Yeah.
That is the Thunder Tank, and you have a
Jesus.
hiss on the way. So you'll have a coffee table and a side table all set up.
Yep.
Yeah, there
That's
we go.
crazy. So
Well,
what did you find joy in today?
me, actually, you know what? I let the kids play hooky.
Oh.
So we got to hang out today. So
Aw.
Logan he was great today. So I was happy that he
Yeah.
was in mood. He wasn't aggressive. I mean, he did do one small thing, but it was
Mhm.
incidental. I don't think he
Mhm.
meant to do it. Yeah, that's one of those fun things with autism. Is sometimes he does things and he doesn't mean to.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but that was my
That's
joy
good.
thing. It was a
That's
good
good.
day. A good day. We had fun.
Love. Love
And then,
that.
of course, baby girl can't decide where she wants to go sleep, so she was making me crazy all day. Out of a room, in a room, out of a room. Come on, pick one room, just stay in it for at least more than an hour. But it was nonstop scratching at the door.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, you're killing me. And then she has this thing. She'll go get locked into the utility room.
Oh no.
She goes out to the
Oh
utility room. I
geez.
have no idea why, because there's nothing out there that's food,
Huh.
and it's not warmer than anywhere else. But she does it.
Dogs are funny. They sometimes
He
make
is
no
he is
sense.
right. Yeah. They do make display coffee tables. I've
Yeah.
seen ones that have Legos in them.
Yeah. Those are cool. People are very
Well,
creative.
with that, we've answered all the questions, and everybody knows where to find you. You'll find me
Yes.
tomorrow night on Nostradamus Toys. I will be
Yep.
simulcasting on my channel, but we will be opening his tank.
Mhm.
We will have a couple people that have not done a live before that well, one hasn't done a live. The other one does live, but he also does podcasts. So hopefully both of them will join us.
Okay. You're gonna have
People,
to tell me after.
yeah, they're people that most of these people don't know, but they will know after this. Um,
Got it. Got it.
so one of them I've had on as a guest, so it's not like
Okay.
he's a surprise. But hopefully we can get a whole bunch of people that are, excited, and we'll get 10 people on that stream
Nice.
getting to enjoy it. But with
Yeah.
that, everyone, I want you to have a good night, have a good weekend, or good day, or whatever it
Mhm.
is, wherever you are. And
Yeah.
if you can be anything, be kind. Good night.
It's not